JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.
JoeTheFinanceGuy.com. That is so sexy, bro.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, obviously, person with the voice of Poison Ivy. So Tasia Valens.
I haven't talked to her in quite a while. Is she still on LinkedIn?
Yeah, she's still on. I see her on LinkedIn and Facebook.
I'm a tagger. I'm like, hey, what's up, Tasia? There she is.
I'll tell you that is really cool. However, Kevin Conroy, I would love to have you do that too, because the voice of the animated Batman. So that would be just awesome. But anyways, JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.
So, my friend,
yes,
let's talk weight loss, bro. I think that is.
You want to talk about weight loss?
I want to get right into weight because I think we're going to talk about Obi-Wan for a lot of the show, but I would love to talk about weight loss because I'm your biggest cheerleader, brother. I love it. You are a sexy beast. You put a picture up of you with no shirt, which is not something I necessarily would do, but hey,
it's off now. I only put the scale on there. I wanted, the more I looked at it, the more I thought it was better just take it off. And I have another one that I'm gonna put on later. It's got my shirt on, but the one that I'm gonna put on later, I was at a retailer today.
Yeah.
And I'll tell the story. It's a quick story. But
Skinny Joe says, "Wow, is that Joe? Skinny Joe." Scott McKinney is saying that.
Scott McKinney, yeah. Joe, Scott McKinney. He is great guy. You
got to share the comments if you want people to see him.
Plug Scott. All right.
You're driving the bus today, so you got to put up the comments.
Oh yes, I forgot. Wow. Sorry. So I'm gonna.
We got Mariella in the house.
Yep, Mariella's. But Scott McKinney, luxury mattress and furniture in Valparaiso, Indiana.
I've been to Valparaiso. How about that?
Oh, excuse me. But yeah, great guy. I've known Scott for probably about 7 years. So great person. So that is awesome. And thank you, Scott. Yes.
There's got to be a story behind that profile pic too, Scott. I would love to hear the story. Is that an everyday? Oh, that guy's awful. Who the hell's that guy? That though, I mean, that almost looks like a Halloween costume to me.
Really?
Yeah. Is that his everyday? Is that his everyday outfit? Or
enlarge it? Remember, I got the Mac Pro Air, so I am.
He's got a little John Travolta look going. Anyway.
No, actually.
That's his look.
I could see him and his wife, like maybe hosting friends, and he just has a cigar.
I'm not that sophisticated. I think what he's got is that big V-neck,
in the coffee cup, but I'm going to guess it's not
coffee.
Right. But that's just me. But yeah, and I forgot that I was driving the bus. So yeah, that
guy's talking a lot. You should let Joe speak.
Who's saying that?
Me.
Oh my God. Yeah. So anyway.
Kenny D, I love you, brother. Where are you? Kenny's watching. Rick Baylor, hey Joe, just wanted to stop and say hi. Hello, Rick. Thanks for stopping in, brother.
All right. That picture was taken at a company party.
It wasn't a party. I told you.
By SEMA finding. Oh my God, I forgot. See, Ira, this is what happens when you drive.
Hey, and you need to play our disclaimer.
Right, I did. And thank you, Scott, for putting it out there. And it's just a SEMA, not a SEMA Finance, because just a SEMA, but that I'm glad that we were able to pay for that party. So that is
so. While you're pulling it up, let me play that. The views of this show, expressed, verbal, written, or otherwise, are expressly those of my co-host here, Joe Stepke, aka Joe the Finance Guy, or Ira Bowman, owner of Bowman Digital Media, and not that of Acima or Rent-A-Center. These are our own opinions.
I thought I had it on here.
You have a banner. Go to your banner. It's there. Sorry. All right.
Gosh. All right. So I'm sorry. I use StreamYard, but since I do it every other week.
We're going to use that excuse. He's just rusty.
It's every other week. I have to be refreshed every time. No.
I know. It's okay. I still love you, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. But yes.
But you are looking skinny, bro. I mean, you're looking good.
Well, I appreciate that. So,
Jordan, thank you for tuning in, brother. We're glad you're here. If you guys want to, also give us a shout. Where are you from? Where are you tuning in from? The shirt scar were paid for.
they were paid off within
90 days. I love it.
Yeah. But
So
Scott is a great person. I'll tell you, do you remember me telling you the story about how I came about with joethefinanceguy.com? He was that when I tell you the
he was the one. He was the one that gave you the idea.
He was the first one when I walked in, and he goes, "Hey," and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're only going to be able to correct it in the comments. But when I walked in, he goes, "Hey, if I wanted to refer somebody to you, how can I do it?" And I have a good relationship with Scott, and I looked at him, and I think like sort of sarcastically or whatever, or just sarcasm coming out of my mouth, and I said, "Give him my phone number." He goes, "No, you need it like a website or something like Financing by Joe." And he was on GoDaddy at the time, and I swear I thought Scott was buying it or whatever. You know, like I'd go through him, but he was showing me, and that was all new to me.
Yeah.
And he was the one that initiated that. And that was like, I visited his store like on a Monday or Tuesday. And then on God, what was it? On Friday is when I saw Grant and my antenna went up and thinking, oh my God, then I might have to do this because somebody's telling me something. So,
all right, drum roll while you're telling your story. Drum roll. Everybody's tuning. They're telling us where they're tuning in from, so you can roll through the comments. We got Evansville, Indiana, Big Sky, Montana, Santa Barbara, California. Originally from Puerto Rico, Jose. Where are you tuning in today?
Jose, that is awesome. Jose.
Yeah, that's cool. Puerto Rico, and I am here in Moreno Valley. And my co-host is in Noblesville,
Indiana. And Jose is, I believe, unless he moved, he's here in Indiana, Indianapolis area, or maybe even Noblesville. I'm not quite sure anymore.
We were talking about a reason why I'd be interested in moving to Indiana, but we won't talk about that on the show because I don't want to get political here. But there was something I'm personally excited about.
Right? I said no. So
yeah, I was vetoed.
Anyways, back to the weight loss. So anyway,
back to weight loss.
I took a picture with this guy sitting in one of his chairs in like.
Who's the guy?
Yeah, from Farrell's Furniture. It's here in Noblesville.
Yeah, let's give him a shout out. So
yeah. Ehab, Farrell's Furniture, and they're in Noblesville, Indiana. And really,
they says Fishers, Indiana.
Or maybe it's Fishers. Well, yeah, it would be Fishers. It would be Fishers where it is. And
no, I think that's where he lives. I think
sitting in the chair, and he was like, "Man, you could tell how much." We same place in the chair. So
it was a virtual meeting.
Oh, Jose said Fishers. Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's right next door to me.
There you go.
And Ryan Jackson is here. That's awesome.
Yeah, how do you say that? How do you pronounce that one? Give it a shot.
Canahoe. Canio. Am I right, Ryan? Canio or no?
Yeah, we're probably not right. It's not an English word.
How much do you walk? I walk 45 minutes first thing in the morning. So I wake up about 5 o'clock. I do my meditation, my devotions.
55 minutes. Is that on your treadmill?
No, I'm out.
Go outside. So how far are you walking in 55 minutes?
In 45 minutes, it's like probably about two and a half
miles.
And I'll tell you something. I was telling my wife today, I have a bum leg, and it is hurting.
So I just thought you were a bum.
Well, that's true.
I mean, there you go.
But
I got dad jokes all day. I'll be here all day.
I know. I'll be here all day. My feet have been hurting lately and stuff, but I want to keep going. So I'm enduring the pain no matter what. And I'm glad. Sabrina, how are you? I
want to tell you that I'm proud of Sabrina. Can I just say this?
Yep.
Sabrina is, I think, an amazing person. She's a little bit introverted though. So she's not one of those people to like get out there and bang her drum. You know what I mean? She's the kind of person that you want on her team because she does the work, right? But she's not like the mouthpiece spokesman type. However, I've been encouraging her to get more vocal because you got to increase your visibility. And anyway, she's been doing that. She's been posting, and I just want to give her a round of applause. So if you're watching the show and you're not connected to Sabrina, send her a connection request right now. Say, Ira said to send you a connection request so she knows you're not a weirdo. But I want to help her build her network. I really do.
She's awesome.
Hey, go to Brianna. Go to Brianna's. There we go. So Ryan just said, no, that's not how you say it. But this is Ryan's wife, Brianna. And Brianna's going to be speaking at my show in August. So come August 4th to
Military too, or ex-military, right?
Yeah, she's still in the military, but she started a business. She's the better half of the Jackson family.
I'll tell you, behind every great person, there's a greater significant other, and that is
true.
My family. It is.
Well, my family. If you're not talking to my wife, you're not talking to it's not even the better half. She's like the better 90% of our relationship is my wife. I'm dragging that relationship down, as it turns out.
God, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Ken is the CEO of the Stepke household. I'm just CFO.
My job is to make money. Let's be clear. Kaniohe. I would not have got that at all.
No.
Go back to Ryan's comment.
You mean the no or that?
No, that one.
Kaniohe.
I kind of see it.
Kaniohe.
It's not what I would have guessed, but
Kaniohe. And saw that car this week with the Batman plate. Oh, he might have seen my car.
With or without the flat.
Oh my gosh! Now that was really scary.
That was really scary. You told me more of that story this week on the phone. I'm so glad that it all worked out. The people who stopped to help you, first of all, very impressive. Yeah, the cop who gave you the escort off the shoulder.
So all I can say is I'm driving up to Seymour, Indiana. Seymour Butts, but
I love you, Ryan.
Seymour, Indiana, and I'm driving, and I hear a weird noise. Like it's not a pop. I didn't hear a pop. I heard something weird, and I thought it was maybe when you're driving, like the road changes or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe you hit something and it pops up and hits the floorboard, that kind of thing.
But it kept going, so I thought it was the road. Because
probably your tire shredding, huh? Yeah.
And so then I look at the tire pressure, and it went from 30 to 22 to 11 to 3. It was just like that, and all I kept thinking was, "Oh boy!" So I didn't, and now I'm on a 2-lane highway, going south to Seymour, and they're doing construction, and it's all like the construction blocks, it's all up that side of the road, and there's nowhere to turn. So I called 911.
Yeah,
there's a semi behind me. I didn't know who else to call. Like, what do you want me to call? Roadside service? Yeah, right. Can you meet me here in the middle of the highway? I thought.
AAA. I'm experiencing a flat somewhere on Highway 275 right now.
The semi is probably going to push me to the next exit, so don't worry, I'll be okay.
I've seen that in Batman movies because the Batmobile isn't always reliable.
So I'm talking to 911.
You're gonna let that go?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Nice.
Because I don't even want that bad one. And then all of a sudden, what came up was 2 barrels and like 2 of those like concrete things.
The divider sections, yeah.
So then I hurried up, got in. I told the person on 911 they were still sending the police. And I call up Kurt Staley, another person I'll go give a shout out to. Kurt and his wife and Seymour, Indiana, they own the Big O Tire store up in Seymour, Indiana. Great people. Call up Kurt just to go.
Big O Tires, come on, baby.
I go, please, just to let you know, you won't believe what happened on my way there. And he said, you got a flat.
How many times a day do you think that guy gets that call though from somebody? Like, you're never gonna guess.
A lot, but that's something. But it's me. I called his personal cell and stuff, and I go, the only reason why I'm calling is if something happens and I need you, you got me, like tow truck, whatever. He said, yes, Joe, don't worry about it. So I'm in the car. I get off the phone. I don't even know if I called Jen yet. I was looking at myself in the rearview mirror, and I went, well, you're gonna have to change the tire. You're gonna have to put the spare on. And I'm all dressed up like I usually am. So I get out. I take some of the materials that I have, like the sales materials that I have in my trunk. I put them in the back seat. I get out the spare, and one of the workers' trucks come up. And he comes out, and his name is Ron. Great guy. And he comes out and he goes, "Hey, sir, I saw he was going the other way to drop somebody off at the yard," is what he called it, the yard. And he goes like this, I wanted to come back and go, I see what happened with you. Why don't you let me, I'm going to change your tire for you. I go, Ron, you don't have to do that. I could change tire. He goes, no, look at you all dressed up. No. You let me do this for you. I thought that was the greatest thing. He got down there, started putting the, God, that's terrible. I really know a lot about cars. Whatever, the jack up underneath the car, starts lifting it up, and he did everything. I was there watching and just talking to him. Then his boss came over, stopped all the other construction trucks for coming by, and he even put air in the spare tire to make sure everything was great. And then finally the cop got there, and then the cop said, well, everything's done here. And then she pulled in front of me, and then I followed her out to the next exit and on there. The only thing I'd say to you is that was above and beyond. The Indiana Highway Department, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that at all. And all I kept thinking was, I got to do a post. I have to do a post about it. And it was,
it's funny how we think like that, because I would have been thinking the same thing. Like, this dude just gave me like faith in humanity, and I need to post about it.
Correct. I mean, and it really did. He could have, hey, good luck with that, and just kept driving. No, he actually got out of the car, got everything done, and the same thing, his boss, and I can't remember his boss's name. I want to say, I think it was John, but it was so great, and I appreciated both of them and the police officer that came by, and I just thought it was great. So yeah, that was my exciting trip to Seymour, and then I had to wait in Seymour while they were putting the tires on. And so I walked to another one of my retailers from there, which was only not even a quarter of a mile, but
you got extra steps in that day.
I got extra steps in, and it was the only time I sweated that day. So
I was going to say, that's the only problem with that for you, right? You're dressed up, and then you're going to get sweaty because it's the time of year.
Yeah, it is. But I like the way I dress, and I usually don't wear a tie this time of year. So
yeah. Yeah, we definitely need more kindness out there, Sabrina.
Yep.
Sabrina, we had talked about race relations one day on a live show, but Sabrina had told me something, I had never considered this, and this kind of goes to kindness. It's a little bit off, but it kind of goes to kindness. She goes, if there's a cop down the sidewalk, right? I'm walking down the street, and there's a cop on the sidewalk down the street. I have to think, do I want to turn around or cross the street? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just walking from here to there. I've never in my life had to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm a white guy. I've never worried about being harassed by the police because of this color of my skin or anything. So, for me, Sabrina helped me open my eyes to a lot of how other races have to, or at least they do think, you know what I mean? It's like, dang. One day I hope we get to a place where we don't have to think like that. But also, I hope we get to a place where kindness is not out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? Because when I heard that story the first time, I've heard this story before, right? So when I heard that story the first time, I mean, it kind of shocked me a little bit, because most people, at least where I live in California, they're not even going to look at you. They're just going to drive by, let alone stop.
Right.
This guy stopped, got out, and changed the tire for you. He didn't ask for anything in return. He was just being kind.
Right. And pay it forward. And I think that's, I don't want to say that's missing, but there's a lot of.
No, I think it's missing.
And you and I are part of something, and when I look at those core values, not a lot of people have those core values in.
It's old school in a sense, right? I mean, but I just wish people were more kind in general, so
Correct.
that a person like Sabrina doesn't have to worry about walking down the street. She's not doing anything wrong. Don't even get me started on the kids being safe at school, because we'll go down a wrong diatribe probably there. But even just helping our fellow man when we
Right.
can, it's in our power to do so.
Right. I agree.
So the world needs a kinder, gentler place.
Yep. And yes, Jose, he gave me a good price.
Oh, we're talking about the Big O tires. Yeah.
Yeah. Big O tires.
Yeah, you got a discount.
Yeah.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
So RJ works at Pizza Hut here in my town, Moreno Valley. And so right now, normally, just to be fair, I usually am not the person to go get them. Every once in a while, I'll go get them or drop them off. But usually it's either my wife or my daughter. But they're up in the Bay Area, right, visiting her parents. So it's me. It's daddy shuttle service. So last night, I went to get some dinner because, well, let's face it, it's just me and I'm not cooking. That doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock anybody. So I went to grab dinner. Then I go pick up RJ. Anyways, I was sitting there waiting for him. I turned the car off because, it was like 9:30 at night. I didn't need the air conditioner on. So I turned the car off. I guess when I turned the car back on, I forgot to turn the headlights back on. So I'm driving down the road. I mean, I just pulled out of the Pizza Hut. So anyways, less than a quarter mile away. And I realized that I forgot to turn my headlights on, so I turned them on. But right after I did that, the blue and red lights flashed behind me. I got pulled over. I hadn't been pulled over in I don't know how long. Anyways, I just pulled over. He was so nice, the guy who pulled me over. He was a sheriff. He didn't even get out of his car. He just pulled up. I had pulled off the road into a convenience station because it's kind of a busy road, and I didn't want him to be in traffic when he got out, especially at night when it's dark and you can't see. So I pull over. I roll down my windows, getting ready. I've got my hands on 10 and 2 like you're supposed to do, right? 10 and 2, people. If you do that, trust me, roll down your windows in 10 and 2. You're much safer if they can see your hands. So anyways, I did that. But he just pulled up next to me on RJ's side, actually, on the driver's side. And he said, turn your headlights on, which I already had. And then he realized that, and he waved and he let me go. But it kind of freaked me and RJ out because, like, what was I doing wrong? I wasn't speeding. I drive like a grandpa anymore. I don't speed. So I'm like, I know I wasn't speeding.
My wife would be telling you a different story about me. Because anyways, I'm not going to get into when I get pulled over. So and I think the last time I got pulled over, no, one last time, I usually, I'm not saying I get out of them for that because I'm usually not really speeding that much.
So you're going like 5 miles an hour over?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, I'll be completely transparent with people. A lot of times, if I'm on the freeway, I will go 7 miles an hour over. But that's about it, unless there are some caveats here. Unless I'm on Highway 5 and I'm going to the Bay Area and everybody's traveling 85 or 90, then I'm going to go with the flow of traffic because I hate to be the guy that everybody's trying to pass and getting a wreck, right? The other area where I will speed is heading to Vegas because, again, most people are going like 20 miles an hour over. So there it is. I saw this comment. I was just about to say that, Gordon. I like the Montana philosophy. I just can't handle the Montana cold. You guys have some really, really cold weather. I mean, like even in July, it snows. It is crazy how cold it is.
Really?
Yeah. Montana is a frigid place.
Well, Jen would probably love that.
Yeah, not me. I'm a desert dweller for a reason. I live below the frozone layer.
I mean, she does like the hot. She doesn't like the humidity.
Now, Alicia wants 72 degrees. She doesn't want 71. She doesn't want 73. She wants 72-degree weather. So Hawaii or San Diego. That's it.
Is that really Hawaii or San Diego?
I'm not even kidding. Like, she'll have the air conditioner on if it's 74 degrees.
She just posted 75 to 80 max.
Max. Not even kidding. Max. She wants 72. Let's see if she'll be honest about it. She really does. She wants 72 degrees.
Last year, it snowed on the 4th.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. We stayed in well, I think technically we're in Idaho, but we were at Yellowstone, and it was July and it snowed. It's a blessing that you were able to go home with no issue. Exactly. It was very much a blessing. I didn't have to show him my license. I didn't have to show him my registration.
But at that time, he was just driving, coming up, just let you know, hey, turn your lights on. And that's basically it. So
Yeah.
but
I mean, he could have done anything he wanted at that point, right? He had a reason to stop me. I was driving with my headlights off, so
inside 68 to 72.
yeah.
Yep.
Inside, outside. You know what's funny though? This is what's funny. My wife and I are weird. I mean, in a lot of ways, we're a very odd couple because we're so different. But
that's all right.
In the house, she will try to cheat that air conditioner down, right? Bump it to 74, bump it to 72, whatever she could get away with. But in the car, I'm the one who likes it colder. I don't know what it is about being in the car, but I'll turn that air conditioner on blast.
I rather drive with, well, it depends. I rather drive with the windows down. I mean, now I do, but I usually still have my AC on too.
I used to do that when I was a kid, but I stopped doing that when I had to start dressing up for work because I didn't want to mess up my hair. And now it's funny is, I don't mean I don't have hair to mess up anymore.
I mean, and I put a hat on, so it doesn't matter to me, like how I do.
Oh, you want to see something funny? Everybody's been teasing me about this, Joe. So last week we weren't on, right? Because I had to go last minute. So I found out about this event on Thursday, everybody. Wednesday. I found out about on Wednesday. I called Joe and I said, Joe, we're going to have to cancel the show this week because I got to go. I was out in Memphis, Tennessee. I packed everything, but usually I wear my hat, my ball cap on the plane.
Right.
Because of those little air things that blow on you, and I don't like it. So I don't pack it. I carry it, but I left my house at 2:30 in the morning. I forgot to bring the hat. So I'm going to Memphis, Tennessee, which normally wouldn't be too bad, but they were going to be over 100 degrees that day. And I'm like, my head, look at it. I'm going to burn. I didn't have all the sun lotion protection that my wife would make sure to badger me to put it on, right? So I had to get a hat. I go to this place, and the only hat they had available to buy is this one.
I like it.
It's growing on me. When I first put it on, I thought this is hideous. Maybe I'll just get the sunburn. But then I'm getting older, and I'm worried about my skin a little bit. So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna buy the hat and do the thing.
I actually like it.
Yeah. So this is more your style than mine. But I had people teasing me about being a cowboy and all kinds of stuff.
I like it.
There was a few non-family friendly expressions that people used. Somebody called me trying to be like Nick Saban. I'm like, I must be in the flag cowboy hat. I love that hat. My wife hates it. Have you seen that hat that she's talking about?
Well, I don't think so.
I don't know. It must be in my closet. But anyways, yeah.
You're gonna have to take a picture and post it on.
She doesn't like that one. Yeah. But anyways, I bought this at a truck stop and it looks awesome on you. Thank you. You guys are too kind. Yeah.
I actually like it.
I don't know what I'll do with it. If I'm gonna keep it, I'll get a little pin, a little Bowman Digital Media pin. You know, I gotta brand everything.
Right.
All right. Well, do you want to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
We just spent a half hour talking about, and I want to hear your take on Obi-Wan. So for everybody that is out there watching this, there will probably be spoilers if you haven't watched it. So
if you haven't watched it, you're gonna want to come back in 15 minutes because we're gonna get into it. Because there's some things I really like about it, and there's some things that I think are sloppy writing. And it may not be sloppy writing. It may just be I don't have the background. This is where Mike O'Connor was talking about, hey, I want to come on and explain some of this. I'm like, okay. So Mike, if you're out there, let us know and we'll send you an invite. He might be playing a video game. He was talking about playing some, and he lost me with Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Your son has been out there binge watching Star Wars all day, just so you know.
Hey, good for RJ.
Hey, he's on summer break. He's
Yeah.
not working today. He's
Yeah.
flying on a plane tomorrow. I'm like, the only thing you got to do today is you got to do your laundry and pack your bag.
Yeah.
I got to take him to LAX tomorrow.
So my take, I loved Obi-Wan. I thought it was great.
So it got my attention right away. Like the other one that we talked about last time that
Mandalorian, or are you talking about the Star Wars side?
No. Remember we were talking about the lawyer one. The guy who was the lawyer, and then it was a Netflix movie.
Oh,
series.
you're talking about Daredevil.
Daredevil, yeah. So remember when I watched the first one, it caught my attention, and I really liked it. And then I watched the Iron Fist. Tell him to clean. He isn't cleaning. He has not been cleaning. In fact, in full disclosure, we have been invaded by the ants. There's TMI. But it's true. We live in a town that's a giant ant hill. The whole valley is nothing but ants. You can't get away from them. But we put ants stuff around our house, so usually we do okay. But this year they're coming in. All right. So with Iron Fist, remember I liked the way it started and then it lost me. It was like unbelievable. We talked about this last time. So, anyways, I liked Obi-Wan the whole way through. It kept my attention the whole time. There was just a few things that I thought were a little sloppy. So the very first thing that I didn't like, and maybe it's because I'd never heard of these characters before, but what do they call them? The Grand Inquisitor and then the Third Sister. And
Yeah, I've never, right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd never heard of that role before, which is totally fine because you're going back in time or you're going ahead in time, depending on which one of these series you're watching. In this case, we're going back in time, and we're figuring out what happened with Obi-Wan in between the last time that we had really seen him. He basically thought he killed Darth Vader, who was Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin, he didn't know Anakin was Darth Vader.
Right, no, he didn't know he was Darth Vader because he thought he killed him there.
Correct.
At the battle, he leaves thinking that he killed him, and he's actually got that. That's put him in a state of depression, and that's how right. That's how the series starts. He's basically depressed, and he's kind of lost his connection with the Force. So he's just a common man working a crappy job, trying to hide because the Empire is sought out to destroy all the Jedi.
And stealing from work.
He was stealing from work.
He
was stealing from work, even though it was a little amount, and he was using it to feed his animal. Is still.
Yeah. I thought it was him and his animal. I thought it was both.
I don't think he was eating it. I thought he was feeding it to his animal. Anyways, that's how I saw it. But he was some type of meat processor, and he was taking a little sliver off. Now the guy was a jerk, but it doesn't matter. Theft is theft. It was still wrong.
Oh my God, I wasn't going over there for that part. All I was saying was, I mean, he's one of my heroes. I love.
Hey, if we want to analyze the whole thing, a Jedi is supposed to be above reproach.
Okay, you're right.
Right. But that just lets you know he had slipped. I think that was part of the character development to show you that he's human.
Right. Correct. You're right. It was. But the way they did that, and Christian Hayden coming in,
who's Christian Hayden?
He's I think I said his name right. Christian Hayden. He's the one that played Darth Vader.
I don't know any of these names, okay? Let's just get that straight. I don't know any of them. I don't know Obi-Wan's character's name. I only know what they call him in the show.
Well, Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to see him shirtless. Is he like ripped or something? Has he got a bodybuilder physique?
Any movie with him shirtless, really. So I
don't know. I saw something on Facebook where it's like the Star Wars or the Obi-Wan people wanted, and it was him like buff and shirtless, and the Obi-Wan they delivered, and it was some wrecked middle-aged crisis dude. I'm like, hey, I could have played that character. That's me. My life is a mess, and I'm severely overweight. So there you go.
The one thing that I saw that I don't want to say I didn't like, but that even my son said it was when Leia was running through the forest. And
yeah, let's not get that far yet.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
So, because this happens before that, so I kind of want to go chronologically if we can. So before Leia becomes like a main part of this story, which I really like that part of it. I like how they did it. I like how they made it like you're not really a princess and all that stuff, like the family, you know what I mean? Like I could totally see that being realistic. So I like the parts that make sense to me. I think everybody's kind of figured out my flavor, right? I don't want a bunch of fantasy stuff. I want stuff that's plausible.
Right.
So the parts of the story that I didn't like I didn't mind that he was stealing. I mean, obviously you mind that he's stealing because it's not the Christian thing to do, or in this case, the Jedi thing, whatever. Okay, so let's not get off into religion, but anyways, he wasn't doing the morally correct thing. How about we say it that way, just for everybody?
Right.
All right. So that part didn't bother me because again, I see he's fallen from grace. He's thought he's killed it was his responsibility to mentor, to train Anakin, right? And he thinks he's killed him. So I get that human crisis, backsliding is the way I would express it. Dilemma, human condition. Okay, I understand that part. The part where they lost me at first, the first part was the Inquisitor folks. I didn't even mind the development of the characters, right? Or the introduction of the characters in the role. I thought, okay, that's believable. I'm cool with it, right?
Right.
Where the third sister first kills the one guy. I'm like, this guy is like full of okay. Watch Darth Vader as they show Darth Vader and they show his skills and all the things, and he's grabbing swords with the Force and stopping not the swords, what do they call them? The lightsabers, right? So he's able to stop it with his hands. He's that powerful.
Right.
This guy, as far as we can tell, is second baddest person on the right.
Right.
Would you agree with that? He's like the second most powerful.
Yes.
That's how it came across to me. So again, if not, then maybe this is not so bad. And it wasn't as egregious, but I'm like, how is he surprised? They have tension. He's been belittling her and mocking her, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Telling her they found her in the gutter and stuff like that. So how did he get surprised by her stabbing him? Right?
Where Vader, I know we're going ahead, but Vader saw it coming.
Yeah.
So really
yeah. If they're really tuned into this dark force, I mean, first of all, just from the humanistic side, I would think be more guarded, right? And second of all, that's without the vision that comes with the force being tapped into the force. Anyways, and he's the second most powerful guy. So it's not like he's some scrub who just learning how to use the force. That would have been more believable. But then also, and this is the part where they really lost me later, when that dude comes back, which again, we're skipping ahead, but just to complete that whole thing. So I didn't like the fact that he didn't figure out what she was going to do, or at least that he was in danger. And then I seriously didn't like the fact that they brought him back. But this is where Mike O'Connor came in with a reason that it works in the storyline, but I wasn't familiar with some external place where Sith are replicated. There's clones of them, and so
and remember and Mike is right.
Don't say that too loud. We don't want that getting out.
I think it's hi Tim.
Tim Stone, how are you doing, Tim? We were going to interrupt our Star Wars conversation just to see how our buddy Tim is doing. Yeah, this is a leukemia survivor, guys. 15 years he's been battling this thing. Love Tim to death. He's got the heart. He's got a heart of gold. Anyways,
and great person. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyways, back to the show. So that was a problem for me because I didn't know about this until today, right? So I thought that was sloppy writing.
Well, I don't know. I don't think so.
I just took it at face value because look, I'm watching these movies, these shows, these seasons.
I don't think he was a clone.
Huh?
I know Mike might be saying, but I don't think he was a clone. I think he really remember the Sith had ways to keep people alive. Do you remember when Palpatine said that?
Well, yeah, and they kept Anakin alive, and he was burnt to a crisp.
Right.
So, and they did. To be fair, they did. Now they didn't show this. What was his name again? Interpreter.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor. They didn't show him do the dunk, but they dunked in this movie. They showed several times. They showed Anakin being dunked in this magic solution.
Back team or back team tank or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that is. But it's obviously some medical Marvel thing that fixes him. Because
Right.
even she says later, the lady, I forget her name, who's helping Obi-Wan after he got burned, and that scene was awesome, by the way, where he's fighting with Darth Vader, and Darth Vader, instead of killing him, which you know is a mistake when you're watching it, but you know he doesn't die if you're any kind of Star Wars guy, because obviously Darth Vader kills Obi-Wan much, much later in the first Star Wars, right? So Star Wars 4, A New Hope.
Correct.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I know some of this stuff. Okay. All right. So
you get your geek card back.
You know he's not really going to die, right?
Right.
But I'm thinking, again, hole in the story. Here's a hole in the story. And it's a hole either way they see this, where it's played out. First of all, the fire is only there because Darth Vader started it.
Right.
And it's just flame coming out of the ground. So really, how intense can that heat really be? Anyways, there's a hole. Here's the hole. Darth Vader has been hell-bent on finding and killing Obi-Wan the whole time, which matches his personality from everything we know about Anakin. So I'm cool with that. That makes total sense to me. Forget destroying the whole rebellion. You have the whole rebellion in your sights. We're going to leave and go after the mouse. Okay.
Right.
I get all that. I get the fight. I get the fire. I get all of it. Here's where you lose me, Star Wars. If Darth Vader is so hell-bent on killing Obi-Wan, why didn't he walk through the fire and make sure the job was finished?
He wanted
You're telling me 10 feet of flames is going to keep you? I would run through those 10 feet of flames without any protective suit because I know that I'm going to survive. That's my enemy, and I've followed him across galaxies. Right, I've done everything in the book to make sure this guy's dead. I'm not letting 10 feet of flames.
Okay, so I don't think he wanted to kill him. I know part of him wanted to kill him.
You think he was conflicted?
Yes.
Okay,
I do.
Because he kills him later.
Yeah, but not.
I think he wanted to kill him. I think there's no. So again, if there's some type of conflict, I could see that with Obi-Wan. If you said Obi-Wan didn't actually want to kill him,
well, Obi-Wan didn't want to either because when he.
No, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But here's where I'm at. I think if that's true, I think that's also a hole because it doesn't fit the rest of the storyline, in my opinion. But here's my hole. The way I see it, and I didn't consider the fact that Vader didn't want to kill him, right? I assumed he did because everything I've known about what had happened in the story to that point. He's crossing every mountain. He's sparing no expense. All opportunity costs, doesn't matter. I'm going to get and kill Obi-Wan. That's what we've been shown up to that point, even in just this series. So he lets 10 feet of fire stop him. Or some people could argue, well, he thought he was dead. Okay, well, again, you have the Force. How do you not know that he's still alive? Right? I mean, either way, I think that's bad writing.
I don't know. I loved every part of it. The only part that
I didn't not love it. I just didn't like. For me, when I'm watching a movie, I'm putting myself in that writer's role, that director's role. I'm like, what the heck are we doing here? This doesn't fit.
Well, I am somebody. If Jen was on, she'd probably tell you that I watch a lot of not so A-rated movies.
The crappy stuff.
Right. I'm not allowed to pick movies in the household to watch on movie night because I'll pick the worst ones.
We watch kids.
And it's with the kids, with everybody, because mostly all the movies, I don't mind watching the bad ones. But anyways,
I like good stories. I don't care about special effects. Like I can forgive bad. I don't even know how to say that, right? But bad production quality I can forgive, but the storyline, it's like reading a book.
We're talking about storylines that are terrible. We're talking.
I quit reading books for a long time because I can't stand to read bad writing. I'm a tough customer. I am.
All right.
Maybe.
Going back, the only bad part that Logan and I were talking about is, and that's where Flea from what was the
Yeah.
Flea
Yeah.
was?
So you're talking about the Leia where she gets kidnapped.
Yeah, when Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think, is that what Flea's from? I believe so. I know who's ever on here is going to hate that I don't remember this from the 80s. But he's over there, and there's 3 adults, and they can't catch her. And she wasn't really going that fast. That's
She really wasn't, and they almost caught her like several times. They were close enough to grab her.
right.
So again, that's just, I think, to me, that was just bad production.
Right. But
and I agree with you. But they did catch her finally.
Yeah,
and I'm like, the further she goes, actually, the better shot she has of getting away because she knows those woods better than anybody.
Right.
And to me, again, that was bad because the dude ended up right where it's like he knew where she was going somehow. Like,
right.
how the heck would you know that?
Well, I mean, and plus they might have triangulated too, but they should have gotten her prior. I don't know. But other than that, everything else was good.
Oh, there's some great movies right there, man. Legends of the Fall, A River Runs Through It, and Shawshank Redemption. Those are 3 of the best movies I think ever.
You go upstairs right now after we get done with this. I can sit down and watch.
Legends of the Fall is one of my favorite movies. I could add a few more to that. You know, Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
Was that the name of the movie? It was where the guy plays the devil. He plays death.
No, I don't know.
Best I've seen lately is Green Book. I don't know that one. Hang on with me a second. What's this guy's name? Everybody knows him. He was married to Angela Jolie for a long time. The blonde guy. Yeah, Brad Pitt. And then the old guy,
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black. Yeah. That movie, written, the script, amazing. Right? That's not a Christian movie, obviously, because it doesn't follow the Bible, what the Bible tells us about the devil and stuff. But an interesting story for sure. Yeah, Meet Joe Black is one of my favorite movies just because it was really, really well done. But A River Runs Through It. I like the Kevin Costner movie. A lot of people thought it was too long, but where he becomes basically an Indian.
Oh, Dancing with
the Wolves. Yeah,
that was a good one. That's another one I could watch a lot. I like that one, Tatanka.
Yeah, Tatanka. Yeah. And another one he's in too, where he's they're in the Civil War. His son runs off. He's got to go get him.
I don't know that one offhand.
I forget the name of that one, but I like Kevin Costner movies, and I really like the one where Mel Gibson screams freedom.
Oh, Braveheart. That is a good one. Yeah. That is good. There are a lot of good movies out there, but then I'm more like now, like when I watch a movie, I'm really looking for superheroes. I really, I'm loving the superheroes.
I like the superhero ones. We talked about this a little bit. I think No Way Home or whatever it's called, the Spider-Man one.
Yep.
Even though I hadn't seen all of the Spider-Mans, that to me was good writing. There's an example, Ryan, I think of a recent movie that has good writing, because even though I hadn't seen all the backstory stuff, I was able to follow along. Now I'd seen some of them, so I wasn't completely lost. Right. Otherwise, I might have been, right? But
No Way Home.
You said they're making another one of those, right?
No, the last one that came out. I've heard that it's coming back out in September, October, with like a special edition with the 15 or half hour or 15 to 30 minutes put back on. But remember, they're talking about different like things coming out, like who all knew Peter Parker, and stuff. So maybe Venom, I thought, was supposed to be in it.
Well,
not just at the end part. Venom was supposed to fight.
One of my favorite things about that movie was obviously Tobey
Maguire
was in it, because that was the Spider-Man original one in the movies, right? For me, that would be like bringing Michael Keaton, not Michael Keaton. What's his name? Thinking Batman. I'm thinking Batman. The first. Who was the first guy in the modern Batman in '89?
In '89 was Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it was Michael Keaton. Yeah, bringing him back
For the Flash.
not for the Flash.
Him back for Vulture, you mean?
For Batman.
Yeah, but he's actually the Vulture in Spider-Man No Way Home.
So Michael Keaton plays a bad guy now?
Yeah, in the Marvel universe,
Well,
and he's going to be playing Batman again.
Batman kind of is a bad guy, so
okay.
He's always in trouble with the law.
Right. Well, maybe.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. No, I would never. I don't watch that stuff. It doesn't thrill me. Even though that I've gotten, I think the last comic book I got just came the other day. It was
an emotional attachment to Michael Keaton, is what you're saying.
I actually do. He's my Batman.
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see him play Batman again.
Yeah, and he is. He's going to.
There you go.
It comes out. It's called The Flash, and it's Flashpoint because Michael Keaton. Flash goes back and meets up with Michael Keaton, the '89 Michael Keaton.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I can't wait till that comes out. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Have you seen the new Top Gun yet? I have not.
I have not. I am waiting for it to stream.
So I'm going to be home alone for a while. I just hurt your feelings. I never hurt Joe's feelings because Joe knows. Yeah, first of all, Joe and I have known each other so long. Joe knows me really well.
Yeah, but he didn't hurt my feelings. I already know. So
Batman sucks. That's what I said.
I wish I had. There's no way I could download it or share the screen and do that in time. There is a one of my friends on Facebook, Oliver Queen, and I met the gentleman probably about 4 years ago at a GameStop, and him and I were talking, when I was working and stuff, and I was out there, and it was in the mall.
You're talking about the artist now, the guy who draws?
No, he doesn't draw. He's just average Joe. His name's Oliver Queen on Facebook. That's not his real name. But anyways, yeah,
he's just the average guy, but that's not his real name.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of it's you see Superman holding onto a tree.
Yeah.
Batman holding on to Superman.
Yeah.
I think I posted it. Robin holding on to Batman, rescuing a woman out of a canoe. And the header says somebody ought to kick Superman's ass. And I died laughing because why are we doing all this when Superman just fly over there, just grab her? And
that's the whole point. That's why Superman's better, because he doesn't need all the gadgets.
No, he should have. Superman should have.
No, I know. Whoever drew that is obviously not smart because Superman would have just done that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't.
Superman never passed a damsel in distress and said, "It's not my problem. I'm on a union break."
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold a tree and hey, let's just make a human rope and grab.
Are you trying to say that Superman is not very smart? Is that what that is trying to imply?
And some Batman
he was a cameraman, right?
What?
People who take pictures aren't very smart, but
no,
Spider-Man also is a photographer. So there's two superheroes that are photographers, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh no, Jimmy Olsen.
Who's that?
Superman. What did you just say? Superman is not a photographer.
Yeah, he wasn't he? That's why he would go with Lois Lane.
Oh my God, no.
What did he do?
Nothing. He was a cook at a restaurant at the bottom of the Daily Planet.
No, he was not. He worked with the.
He was a reporter.
I thought he was a photographer for Lois.
Olsen was the photographer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you. I told you I don't know this crap as well as you think.
I know, but wow.
But Spider-Man really was a photographer, right? What's wrong with being a meathead? That's what my wife will tell you I am.
Oh, that is funny.
She married a meathead.
Gordon said the new Top Gun is great. I can't wait to see it. I actually
am thinking about going to see it over the next weekend or so because I'm going to be here by myself and I'm not going to work the whole time. I'm going to take some personal time off.
So yeah, then go. I would go see it, but I'm waiting for it to stream.
I normally do. I can't tell you the last movie that I went to. Alicia and I, for a while, would go when we were in New Braunfels back in Texas. We would go out to movies for date nights. We haven't done that in a long time, but whatever movie we saw last, that's where we saw it.
Well, I could tell you the last movie I saw, Jurassic World, or
I did not see that.
Fallen. I think it's Fallen Kingdom or something like that.
I think the last movie we saw was kind of a stupid, like, new age comedy thing. It was dumb, but
Oh, then I probably seen it.
I don't even remember what it was.
And I probably liked it too, because we will watch. I'm telling you, I
do miss B movies, Joe. Remember those? They were designated B movies.
Yeah, those are the ones that if Jen was on, she would be saying, those are the ones he picks, and Sabrina's proud of you for taking a break.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm trying to become a better person, guys. I'm working on it. I'm going to counseling. I've got accountability partners. I'm doing some things. I'm reading a book. Look, I got a book here. Again, I know we don't want to get into the religion, but I am a Bible believer, so it is what it is. So I got this book. I just started it. The Disciplines of a Godly Man. I'm reading this book.
That is awesome. I'm actually reading a book too. You want to know the book I'm reading?
Batman Sucks. Wait, no, I'm just kidding.
It's Life Force by Tony Robbins.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. And it's really good. It's about rejuvenative medicine and everything. And, just a lot of information that's coming in about stem cells. After I get done reading it, I'll let you guys know. But
what are you doing to lose weight? So I know you're walking every day. You're drinking water. We talked about that, and you got some green drink thing that you drink.
Well, no, I used to do the juice thing a lot, but no, I'm watching. I'm intermittent fasting a lot.
Okay, so we have that in common.
The intermittent fasting, I start about, it's either 6, 7, or 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, you don't have a hard set rule?
No.
So mine has been a hard set rule for a while. You and I have talked about it. So I'm doing midnight to noon, but I want to extend it. But with my trip, I didn't want to start because I didn't want to set myself up for failure.
Right.
So now I'm ready to start that.
Well, I do 6, 7, or 8.
So 6, 7, or 8 in the evening, you stop.
So like once I get off here, like, I mean, I know we'll end the show pretty soon.
You got to go eat.
And I'll go eat.
Yeah.
And then like last night, I'll give you the example. I think I stopped eating at 8 o'clock. I did not eat until like I worked today. I got done. I went to the gym. And I did not have anything to eat till about 3:30, and I'm really not hungry right now.
So maybe you were just eating for like a 3 to 5 hour window.
No, I haven't eaten for. No, I didn't mean 8 in the morning. I meant.
No, I know that's what you said. You said you stopped at 8 and then you didn't eat till 3. So that's 20. That's
that would right. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
And
19 hours.
Yep. And I'm telling you, I feel great.
I thought I was doing good with 12. So what I've been doing, and I haven't lost as much weight as you. I'm down 15 pounds. I don't know that I've lost anything the last look. I mean, just in full disclosure, my personal life is kind of a mess right now. So I've been doing a little bit of emotional eating, I think. But anyways, I've been going midnight to noon. So I don't eat until noon. But
well, I do. It's just when I'm working out there, and I bring I have a lunch pail with me, sort of. I got protein shakes and protein bars in there. And there was a couple nights ago, I think I was out, and I was out later, and I think it was 5 o'clock, and I had to have a protein shake, and that was the thing I ate.
The only thing I'm doing, I'm trying to drink a gallon of water a day. Honestly, it's more like a half gallon to 3/4 a gallon. And on most days, I'm not getting the full gallon in. It's a lot of water, but I'm drinking a ton of water. You know what happened? I don't know if I shared this yet. I probably haven't because I was a little scared, if I'm being honest. Back in March for my birthday, you know what I mean? I turned 45. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go get some tests done because I'm 45. So I got my blood test results back from my doctor, and he was nervous. Like I could see it in his face. He was looking at these results. So I'm like, oh crap. Okay, what is it? And he goes, well, your liver and your kidney. It's not good news. It's bad news. And so I'm like, well, what does that mean? And he's like, well, we need to do another test, is what it means. But we don't want to do it right away. Let's wait for 3 months. And so, I've been wanting to fix my health for a long time. I've talked about this many times. So, for those of you who know me, you never see me without coffee. Even right now, that's all I got here on my desk. I mean, I'm just being fully honest. So, I eat like crap. Much carbs because carbs are cheap. It's not because it's the only thing I like. It's because I don't have $1 million to buy steak and fancy food. You know what I mean? So I eat what I can afford. So I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to eat less, just across the board. And I'd seen a thing on Facebook, like because I'm 45, I get targeted with like weight loss stuff all the time. Right, men's stuff, like the little blue pill. They send me commercials for that. I don't need that. I've got 8 kids, but but the weight loss stuff hits me hard. So one of the things I saw was this intermittent fasting thing, and I'm like, okay, well, there's an idea I haven't tried. So I just said midnight to noon, I wouldn't eat because unlike most of you who go to bed at like a reasonable hour, I go to bed all the time at 2 or 3 in the morning because I work late all the time. So. And I've never been a big breakfast guy, Joe. Like I don't have to eat breakfast and it doesn't bother me at all. So I'm like, okay, if I could just eat for 12 hours of the day and be off 12 hours a day, but then increase the water, let's see how that does for the weight. Because that's the thing that the doctor told me. He's like, with the tests, he said, if you lose weight, that should help you. And I've been trying to lose weight forever. I mean, who hasn't, right?
And they did the same thing with me, Ira. They said the same thing about like losing weight. But I had my blood test done too. There were so many things. I had one. All I could say is, and I know we're cutting it,
we're going into a little bit of overtime, but that's okay.
But read Life Force by Tony Robbins.
Well,
that thing, and just read the first and second chapter, and well, he says read the last 2 chapters, but it talks about all this stuff in there, and there's more to like the rejuvenated 80 is going to be the new 50, and I really believe that. I think there's going to be ways to get things to fix us preventatively with stem cells and other things that are going on. So
let me encourage people because just in 3 months, I had the testing done already. So I had the testing done in June. So just by doing that for the 3 months, and like I said, I mean, I'm not going crazy with this. I'm talking about 12 hours, a 12-hour window where you eat, a 12-hour window where you don't eat. It's not all that. I mean, I don't want to meddle or anything. It's not all that difficult. And drinking the water, which I did do. And I cut out some other things too, but anyways, I don't want to talk about that on the show. So anyways, I made those changes. 3 months later, my levels went from the danger zone to all inside of the normal. Now, some of them were still at the peak of normal,
right?
But it's not like I had to go get further testing. Everything was like, okay, you're good. We'll test you again next year. So just in 3 months, you can make a change that can affect. Now, I lost 15 pounds. In full disclosure, I lost 15 pounds in that time. And, to drinking more water. Because there was stuff like, it sounds gross, but there was like extra urea in my blood and things like that. Like that's where the kidney failure and the liver failure was a concern because of some of the stuff that they were seeing in my bloodstream. So,
well, exciting. Before we get on, should try Ars Coso. So I'm going to have to look that up. I do a fast fuel is something that I got, Gordon, and it's called fast fuel.
I'm not taking any supplements. I'm not taking any vitamins. The only thing I'm taking right now every day is an allergy pill because otherwise I'll rip my skin off.
But mine, it's just a drink. But Ira, tell us what you're doing business-wise.
So I run Bowman Digital Media. A lot of you, I'm assuming, know that by now. But if you've never met me before, Bowman Digital Media is designed to help small businesses increase their visibility online. We have 6 different services that we offer, but all of it's designed to increase your visibility and bring more website traffic to your website. So that's what we do. How do we do it? 6 ways. We do social media management for the business, which means we create your content, we put out the content, and we engage with the content for you. So you don't have to mess with it, but you still get to take advantage of social media, which, by the way, there's billions of people online. Okay. The second thing we do is we create websites. So if you have a small business and you've never had a website built, or you've got a bad website that just needs to be fixed, then we'll create you a brand new website and we'll run it for you. Then we do graphic design, we do photography, we do videography, and the last service, which a lot of people don't understand, but it's critical, is search engine optimization, or what you call SEO. And why is that so important? Because every second of every day, Joe, on average, there's 50,000 people doing a search on Google. 50,000 people per second. So how do you get discovered in those Google searches? How do you get Google to put you on top or close to the top of that list? That's a lot of work. It's called search engine optimization, and that's the stuff that we do. So anyways, that's what we do. My favorite thing to do right now is somewhere between graphic design and photography work. So if you're following me on social media, you'll see I took a lot of pictures up in the clouds. Like today, my posts on all the platforms are, hey, what do you see in the clouds? Right? It's kind of fun. And then I also just got done finishing up a brand new logo for Superstar Recruitment Services. And anyways, that's the kind of stuff that I love to do. Joe, what do you do, Joe?
Oh, what do I do? Gosh, I do nothing. I go around and meet my friends. No, I'm kidding. Joe the finance guy, and I help retailers, whether they sell furniture, mattress, wheels and tires, electronics, game systems, jewelry, whatever it is. If it's a retail item and it's not titled, but if something that's a physical item, I help them with an alternative payment option to get more customers in. It costs the business nothing, and I get them signed up, and next thing you know, they're doing, on average, they're probably bringing in, one location would probably do maybe anywhere from, on a slow month, anywhere from 5 to 10,000 a month extra revenue dollars, just from having it and not doing any advertising on it at all. So, and that's
some of the advantages for those of you who own a business out there, a retail type of a business. I like to tell people it's the modern day replacement to layaway, because unlike layaway, you don't have to wait for them to make all the payments to take the item. You don't have to wait for them to make all the payments to get paid. You get paid as a business owner right away. It's instantaneous, and there's no cost to you as the business owner. The person making the purchase is the one who's going to pay the fees, but they don't mind, because the convenience fees allows them to take something they wouldn't be able to get any other way and get it right now. They don't have to wait. So for all those reasons, for the business owner, this is brilliant. Somebody comes in, they don't have cash, they don't have access to credit card for whatever reason, but they need that phone, or they need that computer, or they need those set of tires, or they need that washing machine, or they need that bench or grill for their out, whatever it is that they need, right? We're not talking about, a pair of shoes or a pair of pants. We're talking about, something like a new ring or whatever. Yes. Right. So, but they get it right away. For clients or your people who are shopping who don't need that because they have cash or they have a credit card, they're still going to pay the same way they've always paid. This is for the people that can't.
This is bringing in a whole nother spectrum.
Well, let me tell you what it really is. It's turning looky-loos into buyers. They were there to window shop, and then they found out, hey, there's a way I can actually buy this today. I'm going to take that. That's what it really is.
Too, you get a little bit.
Hey, can I have a job? I mean, I know how to sell this.
You do. If you listen to somebody, like when he talks about his business, and heck, you do my business page, you did my website, so
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the lease business through Joe. No doubt.
RTO. Well, I know that I'm going to do a couple things. Great job, Ira. Make sure you all are taking care of yourself.
Hey, you only get one life,
And
right?
also, oh yes,
You only get one life. So in all seriousness, this is something that I'm soul searching for a lot of reasons right now, right? And I realized I made a post about this, so I'll just say it out loud. I'm not embarrassed. It is what it is. I'm a much better businessman than I am a family man and father, as it turns out, right? Husband, father. So I need to improve in that, which is one of the reasons why I'm reading this book. But the health or relationships or whatever it is, like you have to think about when you die. Did I love this thought? Nobody's going to say, I wish I worked more, right? Like that won't not be written about me on my tombstone. No one's going to call me lazy at my funeral. They might call me a lot of other things, but they're not going to call me lazy. Like that guy, man, he should have just put in a few more hours of work. No, maybe a few more hours at the gym, maybe some more time in my Bible, maybe some more time going on dates with my wife or spending time with my kids. Those things I'm sure people would say if they're being completely honest.
right.
They'll probably be nice, but that's things that they might think, right? But I think that we should take time to think about those things now and do something about it while we still can.
Correct.
You and I have had conversations offline to that end, right? So,
and there's three things I always thought about the pillars, and I think I got this from actually Tony Robbins back in the day when I was in my, I think, early 30s, and I was going through po- Our Power and stuff like that with Tony Robbins, and it was just a series that I was listening to, and Michael Bennett probably, who's one of my friends, could attest that he's the CEO of Buddies. But one of the things when I would listen to it all the time, he talked about three areas. You got your physical, like your physical.
yeah, your health.
You have your psychological.
Yeah,
You got
mental health.
So if you went, you're physically, and it wasn't just your physical health,
And financial health too, probably, right?
it could have been. Well, you talk about it in pillars, like things that you could do physically,
Yeah,
things you need to do mentally,
yeah,
and then you talk about your professional side. When you focus on one thing, something's going to give.
yep.
It's hard to focus on all three, but something's going to give there. And it's been a long time since
Well, for me, just being completely transparent, I've always thought my number one responsibility was to provide.
Correct.
So I've always put everything else on the back burner to make sure that I was as successful at that as I could be, especially when you consider the size of my family and the needs that we have, right? We have obviously some special circumstances in our family,
Right.
that for financial stuff. So it's like, okay, I've moved, I've switched jobs, I've worked multiple jobs. I finished my degree at night when everybody else was asleep. You know what I mean? Like I've done whatever I needed to do to provide for my family. So for me, I have overdeveloped the professional stuff, if you will, or focused too heavily on that, mainly as a conscious choice, because I was doing it what I thought the husband and the father was the primary role,
Right.
is to provide, and then of course to protect. So keeping your family safe from outside harm, from outside danger, and I've done that. I've got a perfect record on that too. But not an absentee father isn't just somebody who's like not in the picture. They could be somebody who's in the picture but not paying attention, and that's where I've fallen down. If I'm being honest, right?
I think and sometimes we all. I'm not here to do that, but we've all done that. I think there's times where, I mean, I know I've fell down and failed, and I think it's
none of us are perfect, right? So
right. But there's something, and I think it was Stephen Covey that said it: emotional deposits. And I think, and when I think this is a feeling, I'm not trying to say this is what it should be, but when we start giving emotional deposits to people, you're able to take out things, and that's how come. I
mean the five love languages, they call it the a bank, right? So your love bank, I think, is the way they say it in the book, right? You can take out money, you can withdraw money, but you know, in this case, it's like a credit. You can make withdrawals, but you got to have something in there to withdraw from.
Correct.
Because eventually they close your line of credit. Like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? So you got to make deposits, and you got to make deposits so that you can then take withdrawals. And then the other book, the Love Languages book, about how do people feel or receive love, is not the same. There's different ways. And it talks about the 5 love languages. They talk about, you know, giving gifts or giving time or acts of service. There's different ways that people would feel like you're showing them you love them, right? So, for example, if you're giving acts of service to somebody who's about physical gifts, they're not, you know, they want to receive a gift, like a present. You know what I mean? Like, go buy me a ring or go buy me a flower, or, you know, but if you're serving them to try to show them love, usually the way that you receive it is the way that you're going to give it. But the way that they understand it is not necessarily that way. So you could be putting a lot of effort into showing someone that you love them, but they don't get it. To them, that could be annoying, frankly.
Right.
And then a lot of times they're going to love you back the way that they want to receive it. So if you have different love languages, which a lot of us do, according to the book, that's a big problem. And I know for a fact my wife and I have this problem all the time, because like the way she expresses her love for me is not the way that's not the way I
express it back.
Express it. So we have different love languages.
But that's the good thing about having a friend like that. So I wanted, because I got 45. I got less. I got 40.
You gotta go eat. I gotcha.
So
there will be a show next week. Yes.
No.
I'm
on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to do it, you can bring Ryan on, do something.
I'm gonna say a cup of Joe without Joe. Well, I don't know.
I just say I can't, because I'm going to be somewhere where we're not going to have Wi-Fi.
Nice.
So,
well, I don't even know if my family's going to be back.
Kevin probably has the Wi-Fi
next Friday or not. My family's coming back I don't know when, but
I leave that up to you. But the following Friday when I'm back, yes, I'm on that, Ira.
Well, stay tuned, and I'll let you guys know if I want to have a guest host. We'll see.
Joe without Joe. But the cup of
Joe, a cup of Ira.
Yeah, a cup of Ira.
I don't think anybody wants that. Not even my wife. And that's too salty for me.
The STEM therapy.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
I talked about that because I think Tony Robbins was talking about that rotator cuff, and next thing you know, they got the stem cell therapy, and it fixed it up.
I would love to get that for my back, my lower back.
Yeah, and definitely, Gordon, if you're still listening out there, please send it.
Yeah, send us the information on the Ars COSO.
Yep, and I will be more than happy to connect with you. So that'll be great. Might be when I get back. So I get back. I'm out next week, but I'll be back the following week on Tuesday. So, but send it to me. I'll connect with you, Gordon. And then Sabrina, transparency is great. Definitely a needed conversation to have. Proud of you guys. So,
you know, that's part of what we try to do on the show. We're not trying to pretend to be perfect. I mean,
no.
Somebody was asking me what makes you different than every other influencer, and I think this is part of what makes me different. Is I'm not trying to just show you the perfect crafted message. Now, do I show you guys everything? Of course I don't. I have a life that you guys don't have any idea what's going on, because I'm not that guy. But like, for example, I hadn't talked about my kidney or my liver issues until today. But I try to show that I'm not perfect. I mean, I'm far from perfect if you get to know me, but I am, you know, like the biggest compliment I can get, Joe, is when someone goes, "You're just like you are on social media." Right? I love that, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm perfect. I mean, anyways, I know you got to eat. So
yeah. And I'm going to.
All right, everybody. If we don't see you this coming week, we'll definitely see you in 2 weeks. Joe will be back in 2 weeks, no matter what. So next time for sure. And even in 2 weeks, go to my channels, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. I will follow you back if I'm not already. I follow every single person back. That is one thing that makes me different too. But anyways, if the show happens next Friday, it'll be on my channel, and if not, certainly the following one will be. And I hope you all stay safe. Take care of yourselves.
4th of July weekend.
America.
Yeah. America.
There's all kinds of signs up on our streets that say fireworks are illegal. Fines up to $3,500.
Oh my!
I might go live on the 4th of July just to show you what that means in our neighborhood. People don't care. It's an amazing.
Not here in our neighborhood, but
it'll be like a war zone without the danger of getting shot at.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, Ira, thank you very much, and
love you, brother.
Love you too, brother. And I will talk to you guys all in 2 weeks. Have fun.
Enjoy your vacation, Joe.
I will. Thank you very much, Ira. See you guys later. Bye.
BowmanDigitalMedia.com.
JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.